live. What is that? Sound like a motorcycle or something.
What in my background?
Yeah.
Man, the windows is like
What
open like that.
what is that?
Nah, it's nothing, man. That was outside.
Yeah, I can hear all that. Well, we're live. We gonna have an interesting show today. I want to really incorporate the family into the show today to see, just kind of check the temperature, man, to see how everybody doing out there, what's on people's minds, and just kind of deal with that. Um, you know,
Get rid of that.
what was that?
Now that was a window, man. That was noise.
What's been up with you, man?
Nothing, man. Chilling.
How's the weather? That shit was straight today. It was real nice. It was
Nice
nice.
and brisk. Stayed around 60, 65 to, no, 60 to 65. Somewhere around there. That was the temperatures for us today.
Oh, okay.
What's up with y'all out that way?
It was probably like 75. It was comfortable. It was straight. It was straight. Nice and sunny. A lot of people was out. I enjoyed it. So tomorrow is gonna be a little warmer. So I'm definitely gonna be outside probably most of the day tomorrow. I got to get it in, but I'm gonna chill and relax though. So I'll probably take the fam and we just go
Get
fishing or something.
away. Forget about what's
Yeah.
here.
It's a lot
That's what
going
you
on,
gotta do.
man. A lot going on. And we need to discuss it, but I was just more or less concerned with, we got our circles and how we chop it up with everything that's going on. I'm curious to see how people out there are dealing with whatever. You got the normies who are doing the normal thing, and then you got those who are kind of try to stay ahead of the curve a little bit, and their reality is a little different. And so you know how we get down. We chop it up about some everything. I just want to know how everybody's doing out there. So we're gonna wait to really get into it. I'm gonna wait till the chat build up a little bit, and we'll go from there. So anything interesting on your end? By the way, for those who don't know, the brother is I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, and my man is in New
Neptune, New
Jersey.
Jersey.
Got my man Ricks on the line. Ricks, could you hear us?
Oh shit. That's what we talking about.
Yo, Ricks.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I might have to mute myself for a second, though.
All right.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, Pop?
Nothing much, man.
All right. Give me 1 second.
So, yeah, man, I just wanna see how everybody doing out there. What else been up with you though?
What you say? I didn't hear you.
I said, what else been up with you though?
Just working, man. Maintaining, bullshitting, wasting time. Not really wasting time, but when you just brainstorming, you find yourself doing things you normally don't do, or you're trying to exercise your mind on unnecessary things to exercise your mind on. Meaning just using up time, not sitting in a damn corner thinking about everything. So that's basically what I've been doing. Just been doing the usual things, just occupying my mind. That's all.
Not bad. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, where your picture at though?
Hey, you want to see me, man?
Yeah, I guess you undercover then.
Nah, I mean, I could show my face if you want to see that bad.
Nah, I don't want to see. I think the audience would want to see the stranger behind the dark window. Shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I might show my face in a second, man.
Damn.
I might, man. Get the audience something to look forward to.
Yeah, man. So let's get it popping, brother.
Yeah,
Planet Earth.
Finish that. Hey, did y'all did anybody see the versus battle between KRS One and Big Daddy Kane?
yeah.
I
I
turned
see.
from that because I thought KRS One would rip his ass apart, so I didn't even bother even watch that. Honestly, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh man, Big Daddy Kane about to get murked." I don't even want to listen to it. So what
Nah,
happened?
nah, the show was dope, man. I actually watched it from the beginning to the end. I
Yeah,
don't fuck with the verses too tough. I think I watched the one with a Ghost and Ray. Um, it's just a couple of them that I fuck with. But for the most part, the one with Kane and KRS was dope because they played a lot of classic shit from back in the day. They bought Boot Camp, uh,
yeah. That was good. I like that.
Black
I like
yeah
that.
yeah Black Moon, Das Effects,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
couple of other old school cats. Nice and Smooth. So the shit was live, man. I fuck with it. It was dope how they represented the culture straight up.
It was.
Uh oh, let me see
Yeah,
something.
good culture.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they top this one, man.
Yeah, because I mean they've been pretty good so far. Well, the best has been the Locks and Dipset, and this
Oh
one that
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
passed.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That was pretty dope.
It was one before that, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was what's his name? Ja Rule and Fat Joe.
Yeah, I didn't
That was
check
cool.
that.
That was cool, but you
Yeah.
I think the KRS and Big Daddy Kane was a little more loud.
So what they do? They the music,
Yeah.
Right?
huh?
What happened to Pot?
No, what I'm saying is what it was verses, or I mean, was they like battling through music, or
Yeah,
battling?
I mean they would do their songs. They old songs or whatever. One go, then the other one go. And they brought special guests on, did the old
But
songs.
I'm saying like, how do you even set them up to battle? Because Big Daddy Kane and Karis One was two different level. Like they both had a different. You know what I mean?
It
Karis
was
One was
different.
more revolution, and Big Daddy Kane was more like I'm the man. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it was. It pretty much went like that. It pretty much went like that. But you can't take nothing away from Kane. Kane still, you know what I'm saying? He spit. Kane still got bars now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kane
oh
was.
yeah, sure. I'm not saying the bars part, but I'm talking about how do you match them up when they both were like completely different rapping. Like one was more about the people, and the other one was more about being a
yeah,
man.
about the ladies and all that. But like it
Yeah,
worked. Somehow it worked. Everybody knew KRS One is a battle rapper. Yeah, we all know that. But it's still all hip hop. So
yeah,
it worked. I didn't think it was gonna work at first either, but it it worked. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was dope, man. Just I mean, just being able to listen to the classics, man. That I mean
It was
that
hip
that's
hop, man. That was straight hip
yeah,
hop, man.
that's what I got. That's what I enjoy about it the most because a lot of people get caught up in the term versus or battle, but it's not really a battle. It's more or less let's play our hit. Let's go hit for hit, far as
Right.
songs are concerned.
You're
So of
I
course, I
I guess
mean
you.
the matchup was a little imbalanced because KRS got like I think like 25 albums or some shit.
Yeah, that yeah, he don't have Kanye had a catalog like that.
Yo, He was playing.
But
He was playing that shit, nigga, man.
that nigga went back to any means. What he play off by any means necessary? I forget what he played.
My
Man,
philosophy.
KRS-One was one of the realest, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
my
and that's I was
philosophy.
thinking like that going into it. I was like, nah, KRS got too many hits. Like you said, revolutionary for the culture. He got
Yeah,
too much, man.
Yeah,
he make you feel like this small when you know, because his shit had purpose. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like you can't come on there just being, I'm the man, this and that, and then you got this cat trying to upraise a civilization, man. You know what I mean? The people.
Right.
It's not even a competition, man.
Right.
Shit.
I'll give it that. But like I said, it still was all hip hop and it worked out. Like I still think KRS-One killed him, but
Yeah, KRS was always the man.
Yeah, ain't nobody battle rap wise. But I guess Kane, I can't even say that was more commercial because KRS-One had kind of a couple of commercial hits, couple. So I don't know.
it was live though.
Hip-hop. Yeah, it was for hip hop, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I don't really, it's we come from an era where the music was just different, and when they had those types of, I guess, verses or whatever, I tune into those. The Ghost and Ray one was good.
Yeah.
Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to see that was cool. Even the Red and Meth one was cool, but I'm like they friends too much. Even though KRS and Kane was cool, but it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't really like the people in the same crew going against each other. I need more competition.
But Kane brought out Juice Crew.
Yeah. Master Ace.
Master Ace and what's the other dude? Damn, I forget his name. But that goes back to the old beef they the whole beef thing that they had back in the day.
Yeah.
So it was all fun. And I can tell that KRS-One, he's made for that shit. Like,
oh yeah,
he's made for that shit. He was killing it.
He loved that shit.
KRS-One was on a whole different level, man, even in that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? KRS-One was more. He actually like the cats today. Like he was like a Malcolm X with a microphone. Like, you know what I mean? It was on a mic. KRS-One was all about trying to spread a message to people, man. That's all he. I mean, that was. Huh?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I said your phone mad loud.
Oh, for real? You said my phone loud?
My headphones. I don't know about Dre's.
Now, Pot is his volume. Yeah, you turn your volume down a little bit.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Shit, I hope I can hear y'all. Go ahead.
Maybe you're just too close to the phone.
Oh, maybe that's it. I get away then, because I can't even hear y'all now. How's that? That's better?
Probably turn it sideways, so I don't know. That's a little better. Seem like a little better.
Yeah.
Yo, so what's up with these Sentinels and all that stuff, man? Let's get on it.
I don't know if Rick's watched some of the videos. The new term for the hokey poke, we're gonna call it free lunch. That's the new thing. That's the hot thing going right now. Like I was explaining to Pot that the way the computers pick up the algorithms, eventually they get caught on to the words that we're consistently using, and they will try to censor you based on that. So as we change up the lingo and it gets acquired to that, then it upgrades based on that. So we got to forever keep changing and creating different languages to express ourselves, as long as they got these control measures in place.
There he is. Oh shit!
Yeah, so free lunch is going to be Free lunch is gonna be it in reference. So
Okay.
anytime you want to use that, we're just gonna be like free lunch,
Got
and
it.
we can all,
Yeah, man. There's some stories out there from people. I'm hearing stuff about straight up real people, not some from the media. Anything. People really kind of sick, man, from taking lunch, man. They had ate the wrong lunch, man.
Yeah,
Shit got
I heard
people all
about
fucked
that.
up out here, man. I'm hearing all kinds of stories, man. Like real shit.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I heard a couple stories. Like people got the free lunch and they still sick after a couple weeks.
And
You
not
know,
even working. Got
they got like
got
headaches and
mad
stuff.
issues.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely heard some real live stories from actual people.
I think
No,
um I think it's the tip of the iceberg, but for the most part, I think certain people got a jump on things, and with that being said, we just got to kind of snuggle up into the driver's seat and put it on cruise control, and just gonna let's see whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and we'll adjust accordingly at this stage in the game because I'm not really exhausting too much more energy into trying to bring people up to speed on this or that. It is what it is. I think at this point we need to form tight knit bonds on what the contingency plan is going to be if shit get a little funky out here. And I think that's what I speak a lot on when I meet up with brothers and we have private conversations. That's what the conversation is. As far as what people gonna do, they gonna do that shit. I'm not even concerned with that no more. Um, but other than that, I mean, it's a beautiful time, uh, to be honest. And shit, if we live through this shit, we're gonna have a story to tell. You know?
no, we gonna live through it. Believe that. Believe that, shouting. Believe that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some may, some have already perished, but
Yeah,
you know,
got to keep it in perspective. But I think
You know, but if you open your eyes, like, I mean, you can really see things taking place and what's happening, though. If you really just open your eyes, like, it's not even a lie. Like, you can just see what's going on, and you just see the whole plot where they trying to. You can see it all. There's no secret. There's nothing
pay
secret here,
attention.
yeah.
People don't
huh?
want to pay attention. Not people don't want to pay attention though. That's the thing.
I don't think they don't want to pay attention. I think they kind of like they need that Similac. You know what I mean? It's like
I think it's a conscious effort myself. I think it's a conscious effort. Now I'm not, I don't want
that's
to. I don't
true.
want to feed. I don't want to feed into that. I'm not going to believe that. You know, it pretty
But
much
when you've been lied to all your
is.
life constantly, you see the lies or come to surface like all your whole entire life. It's either you rather be lied to because you're so used to lies. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's like you're afraid to actually see the truth. You know what I mean? Some people just don't want to see that. They don't want to see it. They'll rather live in fantasy land. That's what I call it, fantasy land. People like dreams, man. Dreams is
Yeah,
like you sleep and you can really sleep good when you're dreaming until that nightmare comes. You know what I mean? But shit,
it's
everybody
comfortable.
like dreaming.
The dream is I let's just put it all in perspective. Um, when they say don't cross the streams, and I got a whole like we got that term from Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams. But I took that, and when I say don't cross the streams, there's just certain shit that you have to keep in your lane because it's going to be more detrimental if you try to cross the lane and get into another one. It's going to be more bad for you than them. So you can't exhaust a lot of energy trying to convey or wake up or convince when they already have their MO, their method of operation. So you got to let that be what it is. And that's why I said I'm at a point where that's not even on my radar no more. Really,
And
right now
and
is go
I mean to
ahead.
cut you off, but even if you're speaking to somebody about it, they actually like kind of cut you off. Like they won't get into it. And
Because they already
That's
they already
true. That's
yeah
true. I have talked to a few people like they'll They'll just brush it off. And sometimes it's honestly, I'm gonna be real though. I'm gonna keep it a bean. All I'm saying is when you that's like you got all these assignments, right? You got business to take care of, right? And if you don't take care, it's like trying to get your license renewed, all this stuff redone and all that stuff, and you're like, you know what, man, fuck that shit. I ain't gonna pay attention to that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of hearing about the shit. So whatever, whatever. When the deadline passes, now you got issues. You got serious issues. And I even talked to I talked to, it was a female I was talking to. She didn't want to talk about it. She wanted to move on to different conversation about it. I was like, well, the truth is, and we still got to face the truth. The truth is, what's going on in the world right now really should be focused on. You know what I mean? It's like preparation. You gotta have preparation. You can't be in la la land trying to move forward. Like, oh, well, this is what I'm gonna be doing now while the world is shambling and crumbling. Oh, it's gonna catch you too, brother. If you think that that's gonna,
like Dre was saying,
it's like you gonna escape because your mind is somewhere else. Like you talking about regular life things, like not regular life things, but you still talking about the fantasy stuff, like like and you're forgetting about that. You got cats behind you with machine guns and all kinds of shit. What's up?
That's where they want to be at, and that's what Dre was saying. Like you're exhausting your energy trying to say them or get them information when they don't want to hear that. They straight switch the whole conversation on you, man.
Right.
So you gotta leave it at this. I'm just saying, at this stage in the game, you got to leave that where it is. That can't even be perplexing your brain anymore. That shouldn't even be a itch in your ass at this stage in the game. Not even worried about that at all, because it's exhausting. It depletes you and it causes you to be unfocused. Because that same energy you could actually be putting into yourself or like-minded individuals on what you need to do strategically for the next step. I'm not wasting no more time on this, that, or the third. They're gonna have to catch up or just get caught up in the whirlwind. I'm not concerned with that no more. It is what it is. So the new information, you want to stay abreast of that. And like I said, eventually I'm gonna have to create another move my stuff over to another platform, because I'm gonna really want to get into some heavy shit, and I know for a fact that they gonna probably put a nigga in some sort of Facebook jail or YouTube sanctions or whatever the fuck they got going on. But it's some real weird shit going on right now that a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people do know about, and it's out there. It's some X-File shit. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. It's some X-File shit, and um, we've always like me and Pot used to talk like, yo, for some of the things that we discussed and how heinous and just devious they are, you can't fucking be human trying to do what they're trying to do. Like, human beings don't think like that. You cannot. You got to be some off world or just some real evil, non-human, whatever, to think along the lines of what we discussed. You can't be human. But it's the pieces are kind of like falling in place right now, with the fact that then just maybe there's some shit that is not a part of this conversation that got its hands in this shit. And it's wild. And I think now the fact that people have some experts have had the opportunity to look at what's in the free lunch, and really look at what's in the free lunch from a forensic perspective and analyze it. Now we can have a conversation about some shit, because it's one thing to tell a person some shit, and it's another thing to show them. And they've muddied the water so much that people can't see clear. They can't really see clear on what's going on because there's so much fucking information flying around. Niggas don't know, what to latch on to. But I think, far as people like ourselves, sometimes we just have a gut feeling that something's not right. And sometimes that's all a nigga need to be like, yo, I'm gonna pause for a minute and watch this shit unravel. And as it unravel, then you figure out which way you need to, you know what I'm saying, which way you need to go. That's where I'm at with it. But I think right now, um, we really need to be focused on what's gonna be the next step going into these winter months. Cause
Well, we know what the next step is. It's always got to be good health, man. Health is your first step, first of all. Without good health, you ain't
oh
worth
yeah,
anything anyway. To me, it's like you got to be in good wealth because I mean health because you gonna fall in the circle anyway if you ain't strong enough to climb out the circle. So that's the first thing.
Physical and mental. Physical and mental.
Yeah, but it takes a strong mind to have a strong physical. You know, there ain't no you can't really find a person on this planet that's and I'm not sure if I'm right about this, but you can't find a person that's completely healthy in physical shape that doesn't have a weak mind. Usually they have strong minds because it takes strong mind to maintain strength because it manifests through your body. You might have fakers, people that take, all kinds of enhancements and stuff like that to cheat. But a natural person that's at the top of their game on a physical level, usually on the top of their game in their mind.
I can't totally agree with that.
Because you got a lot of fakies out here that use stuff to make them look like they're in great shape. And this, you know what I mean? You got all kinds of stuff to cheat. So
Yeah,
if
with
you
that.
if you got cheaters, then you don't know. You know what I mean? Like in a gym, you got mad people on all kinds of stuff, enhancements and all that. So they're not really using their mind too much. You know what I mean? They basically taking stuff to enhance their body as they
Yeah,
work out.
I see that part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they not that's cheating. So if you cheating, you ain't really figure out anything.
Well, I mean, working out I mean, it's discipline. It's a form of discipline. So you would have to
Yeah.
have, some strength. Yeah,
Yeah, because
mental
a lot of
strength, I
people
suppose.
well, it takes what you call it? When you working out and you getting results, like you said, it takes a lot of like you just said, it just takes that's the word. You said it already. It takes discipline, you know what I mean? It takes a lot
Well,
of discipline and
I would say even when you're lifting weights, you gotta be focused. You gotta push yourself, to get to that, to lift those weights or even to get to a certain point physically. So I see that side of it, but I can't say everybody who's physically fit is has a good mental. I can't. I'm not gonna go with that one
I
because
I
that's
think
understand.
yeah. Once again, we was having a conversation off air about different scenarios, and because I work out. I know Pop work out. I don't know if you work out, Ricks, but I'm pretty sure you've worked out at some point. That I keep it in perspective that if I'm ever put in a situation where I have to push a limit of lifting something or running, how much cardio stamina I have, like I'm questioning all these things because I don't know what type of scenarios that I'm gonna be faced with. And that's one of the driving factors. One of not number one. Number one is like good health is like at the top. Like if you just fucked up, then you can forget about all that shit. But being able to adapt to whatever may come down the pipe is scary at the same time, but it also is a motivating factor to say, hey, I need to get up and strengthen, you know what I'm saying, my physicality, my mind, everything, every aspect is you got to be in prep mode right now
Gotta
because
be sharp.
you just don't know what's going to come down the pipe. And take for instance a zombie movie, man. You know they done upgraded the zombies. They ain't like the slow moving motherfuckers. These niggas be running fast. Super fast. And then it's not one, it's like 4 or 5 of them at one time. So, but it's you could keep in mind the blueprint on any scenario has been placed in these movies. Every
Right.
scenario you could think of, this shit is in a movie. So what I'm saying is put yourself in these situations where you watching on the TV screen. It's like, what would you do? How would you be able to fare in that situation? I'll be watching. I think Pot have watched this shit too. Uh, Black, is it Black Summer?
Yeah,
Black Summer. I think it's Black Summer.
yeah,
But anyhow, some zombie shit. But a lot of the zombie movies are not really about zombies. They're really about life without the system and how people are going to respond to the scenario of the system being gone. Because the zombies, yeah, you got to worry about them, but most of the difficulties come between people fighting over food, people fighting over being warm, people fighting over just resources, people fighting over their ability to fucking get on an airplane, just whatever. You gotta watch the social destruction that goes on between people when they're running from zombies, because zombies is just the nucleus of the situation. But everything else that goes down in these movies, man, is what you really pay attention to be honest with you. What would I
yep.
do? Like, would I drive the car like that? Would I would have smashed it into this? Would I use the hatchet or the gun? Like, you really got to peep, because it's prepping your mind for worst case scenario. Fuck the zombies, especially the Walking Dead. Anybody can get rid of these niggas.
Right.
They
You all gonna look like a genius out there. All you need is an axe.
But I don't think the Walking Dead is really about fucking zombies. I don't. I think it's really about how people's lives are changed, how they respond, how they beef, how they make up. Shit, how you gonna have a baby post-apocalyptic? Somebody get pregnant, like, yo.
Yeah, I agree with
you.
that.
Just
you can't keep
hey, yo, you just opened something up. You just opened something up when you said, no, you know who the zombies are? The sheep. The zombies are the sheep, and the conscious people are the ones that's trying to get away from it, get her out, but the sheep is enclosing them in.
And
that's what the zombies are.
And that's the storyline, is how people, the storyline ain't really about the zombies congregating and figuring shit out. The story is about the people coming together, like
exactly.
You said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the conscious people.
Hold on, man. That's how you keep seasons going after. You know what I'm saying? Because zombies, they get whack after a minute. You keep seeing zombies.
Yeah, right. Nobody's
Dead got, I don't know how many seasons, but they've been going for a minute. But it's the storyline about the people. That's what keeps everybody watching.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about how the people are going to respond and how they're going to survive. And then let alone, you got to keep in mind in these movies, when society breaks down, there's always some leader that forms a new society, and he's the leader, and they doing some crazy shit. Now you got beef with a whole different faction of humans who they got a compound, they got weapons, they got food. So now they beefing, and it's all about society and how it's going to evolve when this shit just goes to shit. Fuck the zombies. Now, keep in mind, them fast running motherfuckers, that's a whole different ball game. that's like putting the collapse of society on like a high speed, because you don't really have time to second guess shit when they move that fast. You got to be quick. And you got to make decisions quick, and it's a good preparation for what may be coming, because you may not have time to romanticize with a situation or rethink it. You're gonna have to think, especially if something I noticed in Black Summer. If you just died, you turn to a zombie.
I know that sucks.
So if a person just got into a car accident, they turned.
I know, right? If a person was about to die, you would have to try to kill them.
Yeah.
If they're about to die, you would try to kill them before they, die. You'll try to, it's crazy.
I never say that.
So
it changes the dynamic of how you adapt to certain situations like that. Like,
But what I mean by the zombies is it all started because of the zombies. It all started because of like right now, without the zombie thing spreading, without the zombie spreading, those people wouldn't have been in that situation. Like, you know, the spread of the zombies, like, to me, it's the same thing as the spread of you got the spread of that, and all these problems are happening with them people, and it's putting conscious people that haven't got it in against each other in a war with the, you know, everything else, because it all started, the foundation was, you got a massive zombie thing going on, the apocalypse, you know. So, you know, they created that whole, you know,
Dynamic.
world.
Yeah, you're
Huh?
right. You right. It that given the free lunch situation is creating, um well, if you want to call them zombies, let's just, you can call them zombies. But if you want to call them zombies, but I get it. It's creating a dynamic where, um the conscious individual has to adjust and adapt to a new society that's developing as we speak, and
Right.
it's causing division, it's causing rifts, it's causing people to migrate, because now, I found out that the governor of Texas and the governor of Florida said, any you can't they're not forcing free lunch on motherfuckers. That's It's just what it is. No company can force the free lunch. So what you're gonna have is, you may have other states that follow suit, but then you're gonna have people who are gonna start moving and migrating to those areas. Like, fuck it, I'm out. I'm not gonna stay per se New York City or California. I'm gonna go to a state where they got shit in place to protect me, where I'm not forced to do X, Y, and Z. That's changing the landscape of the country right now. So I get what you're saying, for as how free lunch has caused a zombie like situation, and people are now creating, not to an extreme degree, but they're creating subgroups of society of how we, because I'm in that, I guess you can call us a subgroup, how
Yeah.
we gonna
Exactly.
move and how we
Yeah.
going,
Exactly.
So I get it.
Anti.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly. And, you know, yeah, like you said, like, you know, we was talking about good health. Well, my whole thing about survival is to have the power to escape. You remember what I'm talking about? Having the ability to escape will, to me, you'll live longer being able to escape instead of facing every storm. Sometimes you got to escape the storm. Most of the time you do. You just got to be able to escape it and hide out until it go past. You know what I mean? You can't take on every storm, or you're going to get overwhelmed with your strength. The first thing is to be able to escape, be in shape to be able to escape, because you're always going to be up against odds that's greater than you. So being strong ain't gonna do nothing. Being in top strong and all, you know what I mean? That ain't gonna do nothing, bro. You got too many. It's too much. You know, you got to be able to get away from all that shit and live long and tell the story. If anything, I'm just saying you got to be able to be smart and know how to escape and create illusions and in stealth mode. You just got to learn how to be in stealth mode and be in
I would
shape
say
to
you
get,
need to
you
be
know.
in physical shape too, because you may have to build some
Yeah.
shelter, do some
Right.
things you're not used to doing. So
Right.
I ain't saying top notch like bodybuilding. I ain't like
That's what I'm saying. That's gonna wear you down. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna get ran down.
Nah, not that. That ain't just a daily regimen, or, you know what I'm saying, or something simple. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep you moving.
Good heart too. You gotta be able to move. Like, yo, I gotta probably run for a
Cardio is
good
good.
half an hour.
Cardio is. I said cardio is very good. I would say
Yeah.
that's probably on more good cardio. That's top. That's
Yeah, man, you're gonna have to be able to move at least what a good half an hour to even disappear. You're gonna be moving, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like going through the woods, jumping and moving and all that. Yo, there ain't no stopping like you ain't gonna be able to do that, you know what I mean? And that's what's gonna destroy damn near everybody if it came down to anything like that. because mostly I think about 90% of people are be like that after 5 minutes, 3 minutes, man. It's like you
Yeah, that's
done.
that's that's um that's definitely true. So that's something that you got to really focus on right about now, because you're right. Being able to doing anything for 1 or 2 minutes at your highest peak. Most people they done.
Yeah.
A minute is pushing it.
Yeah.
At your highest peak for a minute is
Yeah,
pushing it. So you got to be in
Yeah.
shape, dog. You
yeah.
got to be in shape, and that's it is what it is. I got a question. Liabilities when it comes to your camp, your family,
Mm.
your crew, who's ever in your inner circle. Sometimes our inner circles have liabilities, and those liabilities can be people who are with you and they're down with the cause, but at the same time they may have a mindset of second guessing things sometimes, and that second guessing can cost you depending on the situation, because sometimes you may not have enough time. I'm gonna give you a good example. I don't know if y'all saw the Harriet Tubman movie or whatever. um but she was leading some slaves through the woods one night, Underground Railroad. Kid, they had babies, the whole nine, barefoot. It's cold, and there are slave catchers chasing them. So they get to like a small creek or some shit that they had to cross. Keep in mind, you can't make no noise. So when she gets to the water, she stops. Everybody's stopping, and she's looking around. And keep in mind, she was guided by, let's just say, spirit and intuition. That's what she used downloads, as me and Pot talked about. She downloaded a lot of information. She was connected to source. Back in those times, you would just call source prayer, God, spirit, whatever, whatever. These are the framework words that we use to describe things that were undescribable or unseen. But she was tapped in. So most of the time when she was in a situation, she would stop and she would go into a slight trance and pull that information in on what would be the next step. So when they got to the water, she paused, and everybody's looking around and they panicking. And there's like slave catchers on their ass, and it's in the middle of the night and it's cold, and the only light that they got is moonlight. So when they get to the water, she falls to her knees and she closes her eyes. She goes into a trance right quick. And when she comes back, she said, "We got to cross." The thing is, there were people in that camp that she was trying to save, second guessing her decision if they should cross the water with the babies, right? And she was like, "Look, if you're gonna follow me, you got to trust that every decision that I make is gonna be the right decision, or you can perish. I'm not gonna hold you back." So you may be in a situation that, and just to bring y'all to what actually happened, they wound up crossing, um, and there was times where when they would have to cross, they would have to hold babies under the water because babies were crying, so they had to be very quiet.
Damn.
Crazy, crazy shit. They didn't kill the babies, but there were times where they had to do that. Extreme situations when you trying to escape some shit. So what I'm saying is when I'm talking about liabilities and people are close to you, there's certain situations in life that you're going to be in and people are going to question. And there's nothing wrong with questioning, but sometimes questioning and knuckle dragging can be an extreme liability and get you jammed up because somebody is still not quite surrendered their ability over to you to make wise decisions to lead the camp, and that can get you jammed up depending on the situation. What y'all think about liabilities in your inner circle?
Yeah. I mean, you can't be soft, that's for sure. And like I think
Well,
that forcing somebody to make that trip, that's not gonna work out too well either. So you kind of got to be like ride with me or go on your own path. There's no judgment or whatever. I mean, that's even if babies, whatever. Either you follow me, we do what we gotta do, or you stay back. That's the leader's
But
decision, though.
here's the problem with that though. I mean, good one, but here's the problem with that though. Sometimes when you let go of that kind of situation, that situation can probably end your where you're heading, because a person, if they don't trust what you're doing, they might be the lead to end your streak. You understand what I'm saying? So like sometimes when you look into even like old movies, like if a person, like shit, gangsters do it, man. When a mother like, yo, I don't want to be here no more. I ain't gonna tell nobody nothing. What they do to that cat? I just wanna go free and live my life. I'm not gonna, it's all in here. I'm not gonna tell the cops, anybody, this and that. What they do, they always top them off, right?
Sure.
They don't never let a person leave the organization that has all that information to disappear and be all good, because they know that person is a link to their success and everything else. That person can end it all
Either
because they know
way,
too much.
either way, they know shit. Now, if you forcing somebody to follow you, information can leak out like that too. You know what I mean?
No, 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 no. What I'm saying is, if you're trying to get away from a situation like that, to get away and that person know your plan, is it really a good idea to allow that person to go else when you know they're going to get captured, or
What
you
else?
top
What
them
else?
off?
What else would you do? What would be your next move?
But we're talking
You
about
kind of might have to do this in order to save a whole. You know what I mean? You might have to do that
So
because
hold
that
on.
person was weak and didn't
Scenario
have the
is a
heart.
mother. Scenario. I'm gonna give you a scenario. Mother and father and child.
yeah,
They
yeah,
don't want to follow no more.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you killing everybody?
Mother, father, and child. I don't know the consequences of the scene, but I'm not gonna let anybody, because they're gonna die anyway.
Yeah,
So
but if they want to
and
lead the
um and
camp,
um and huh?
go ahead. No, I said if they want to lead the
I'm
camp,
not gonna jeopardize my freedom just because my emotions. If they were with me on other, I mean, they should be able to trust and go where we have to
I
go
get that part. Yeah,
to,
I'm with you on that. You definitely got
you know
to
what I
be a
mean?
tough
But don't
leader.
start changing your mind and stuff, because when you start changing your mind, you make yourself vulnerable, and you know where I'm going.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you're
with you
gonna
on
make
that.
yourself vulnerable to the enemy. That's how the enemy always wins, man, because they get people
I'm with
like
you.
that. People that used to be with the organ that like, yo, I can't do that, I'm not doing it, I ain't gonna say, but they go back and they end up torturing their ass and they tell them right where they're going.
Right, right.
So that's like a huge decision, and you see that in all movies, bro. Like yo, if he try to walk away, they're gonna end him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he a part of the chain. Because he know where they're going.
But
So
same
do
thing.
you trust the torture? Can he let
I'm bringing
himself be
it back
tortured? If
to
he's scared to go where he going with you, what makes you think they won't go and tell them people if them people threaten to torture
bring
them?
it
You
back
know what I mean?
to
Like, so like, yo, you scared to take the next level to get here because you don't
I'm
trust
bring it
me.
back to hold on. I'm gonna bring it back
Go ahead.
to if it's a family, mother, father. Matter of fact, they got 3 kids now. There's a whole team now. They don't want to follow no more. This mother, father, they don't feel it no more. You're not gonna let them go.
That's
What
a
you gonna
very
do?
tough decision, man. Yeah, it really is a very tough decision, bro. I mean, I can't really even answer that one. That's how tough that one is. I don't even want to answer that one. That's how tough that is, Ricks. I'm really trying to think about people that ain't your mother and your father. You know what I mean, nigga? Let's keep that out of it, because most likely it ain't gonna be your mother and your father, dog.
But that's how shit be going down though. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
Leaders
why
have
I
to make
asked that
tough
question.
decisions.
That's why I asked that question because even now with the preliminary stages where we at now, we really just having some critical thought on worst case scenario. But let's just take what we're dealing with right now and assimilate it in. You know, take for instance, give a good scenario. Somebody gets the free lunch, right? Now, keep in mind, most of the people, I say 90%, they really don't have no sound scholarly information on free lunch. They just it's fucking free, and whatever the information was based on the free lunch, people went out and got it. Bam, that's just basically, what it is. Now, let's say their partner doesn't have the free lunch. Partner finds out, you know what? According to this report, and this study, if we have sex, your free lunch, you're gonna pass your free lunch on to me. I don't want that though. What do? Because now a person in your circle has become a liability. From a scientific perspective, not no conspiracy theory, not no wonky, whatever, just pulling shit out of thin air. Because this is the thing, like I encourage people, stop fucking with the news, number one. Do you some fucking homework. And people think doing homework is if the shit ain't on Instagram and it ain't on YouTube and it ain't on Facebook, it's some bullshit. Listen, everybody on those platforms who had something to say or had experts who wanted to come on and have something to say, those sites, those people were flushed and purged out of the system. They're not there anymore. So they went over to platforms that don't have censorship, and that's where they're talking and interviewing and showing statistics and paperwork and stats and everything that you should be seeing is on other network where they don't have the censorship. That's where all that fucking information is. And if you're not going there to do some homework, and BitChute is one platform where you can go and they got tons of information that ain't censored and covered up and all this other shit. You can go over there and get information. But the bottom line is, for a person who's did their homework and they come to the consensus that I'm not fucking with the free lunch. Somebody else already fucked with the free lunch, right? This somebody that's in your circle. This is your mate, somebody you with. And they come to the conclusion that, look, we can't even have relations no more because of that. Now this person has become a liability in your circle, right in your circle. Yeah. And what do? Do you leave them?
I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to try and trust them the best way you can and try to deal with the situation. That's basically what you're going to try to do. That's normal human stuff. We're going to basically try to cope with it and live with it. Just like, you know what you said with your family, you know what I would do? They're coming with us. I don't care what they say. That's you understand me, Ricks?
Nah, I get it. That's what they would do. That's what they would do.
They come. Yeah, there ain't no backing out and going back the other way. We just gonna drag your ass across the water. You know what I mean? That's the best solution right there. You don't have to kill. You don't have to do none of that. You just have to treat them like slaves for a second until you get where you gotta go.
Hey, like, we'll work it out. We'll figure this out.
So it's creating
same thing
dynamic right now, and
that's the same thing, Dre. For what you said with a person, you just bring them along, man. You just ain't got no choice. You don't want to kill them. You don't want to do nothing like that, or leave them vulnerable, even though they got the lunch. You might have to just keep them a distant, but bring them along.
And let me
shut them up.
Let me say this. Anybody that's in the chat right now, on any of the platforms that we're streaming to, if anybody wants to ask a question, please type it in whenever you feel like it so I can see it, and we'll go ahead and address it live while we're having this discussion. So anybody who wants to ask a question, go ahead and type it up and shoot it through, and we'll address it accordingly. But yeah, man, there's people gonna have to make them hard decisions. They're making them hard decisions now, and our world is ever changing, and everybody is not. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but it's a good portion of us that listened to that inner voice. That's the best way for me to put it. Yeah. And if the smartest, this is what some of the statistics saying, that some of the smartest PhD holding doctorate folk in the United States, they will not take the free lunch. So the nerds is like, I ain't fucking with y'all. Right. The nerds ain't fucking with y'all. Like,
and they're not willing, and you know what? They choose their life over $1. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, They're not gonna be like, I take it to keep my job or anything. Like, yo, I'm out. I made enough. I'm out. I'm not gonna sit here and
You got
sacrifice my life.
teachers is out of there. You got, you know what I mean? It's a lot of people that are like, nah, I'm not doing it. Not gonna do it.
Those are the people. Those are awesome. Yo, I say awesome, but those are great people, bro.
I believe so.
Those are great people, man. People that see things beyond money and all that stuff. Like, actually can value life. You know what I mean? Not saying, oh damn, he just offered me $400 to eat lunch with him. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, I'll eat the lunch and I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll take this. People value money over over life. That's how I see it. When you make those choices and decisions, you actually put money before your life.
They're pretty much showing you. They showing
Yeah.
themselves.
So when they know that they can control you with some lunch, dog, that you eat their lunch, yo, they got all kinds of plans for you. If you gave into that weak thing, then you'll give into anything. If your life was on the line, your life is on the line right now.
What they say, be wary about those bearing free gifts or something.
Yeah.
Saying, man?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know it, but true.
Nas, be wary of those who come bearing gifts. And they came bearing a lot of gifts, from like free fries, donuts, $50 gift card, $50 gift.
And you know what? It's disrespectful. They came with disrespectful stuff, though. They came with stuff that don't have no value to it. Yo, nigga, here's a couple of toothpicks. You need them for your teeth? You know what I mean? Like, yo, you get them free. Eat some lunch with me.
Yeah, they was offering 6-packs, all that. You get a 6-pack. Like,
it just goes to show you how you value your life. It goes to show you where your mind is at. It goes to show you, like, those are the type of people. And like I said, I don't like to disrespect nobody, nothing like that. But those are the type of people I don't want on my team. I just don't want that kind of person on my team. If I ever had to run a team, I don't want nobody that's gonna value fantasy things over their life. You know what I mean? Like,
let me throw this in there, because I was thinking about this today. And this is where the empathy comes in. And like I said, I empathize with everybody who has to make a decision, regardless of what that decision is, because it's not easy to hold your position regardless of what it is. You see what I'm saying? Like, we holding our position, and we got to fight because there's opposition. And then you got those on the other side who chose their position, and they got to fight to hold that position, whether, regardless of how you feel about it. But when you go back to the Matrix, right? There's a scene with Cypher, and Cypher represented something. The Matrix is a very good movie when you break down the representation and the meanings behind characters in their roles. Because I like to watch movies and kind of put the entertainment and all explosions and all the lights and the flashes and shit to the side, and I listen to the commentary, and I've gotten to the point where now I'm actually reading shit on the walls and seeing what's in the background on the pictures and shit, because this is how they get down. They put shit in plain sight. Yeah, and you're not paying attention to it. But Cypher sold out his entire crew so he can go back into the Matrix and live a lie. And he knew it wasn't real, but it made him feel good. He was safe. And that we're dealing with the same scenario right now. People are safe.
True.
They feel good, and it doesn't require them to work or do anything. And they'll go to great lengths to protect that shit. So when you look at people are Cypher, people are agents, people are plugged into the system, and at any cost, that can be a problem when you're trying to wake somebody up from that because they're comfortable. Like they say, ignorance is bliss. Motherfuckers don't want to know because they're comfortable, because if to know requires them to make a decision at that point. And that decision can cause them to change everything about what they enjoy about the illusion. So You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with that. And the thing is, on a whole cosmic level, that's what they came here to do. I didn't come here to do anything I'm not supposed to be doing right now. Everything else is in divine order. At least that's how my elders explained it to me. The universe is perfect in its design, and there are no mistakes in the universe. Just learn your fucking place in the universe and stay there. Don't be trying to leave one section and go to another section and tell motherfuckers what to do. That's not why you're here. You got to figure out your part. Somebody asked a question.
Right.
So what is actually in the lunch that makes it dangerous? Whoa.
Whew, it's a lot of stuff. Damn, you got a whole you got a soup platter for you.
Listen, we can't go into that on this platform. I will say this: go over to a platform called BitChute, and you can pretty much search anything pertaining to free lunch, and you're gonna have thousands upon thousands of videos. You're gonna have scientists. You're gonna have things that's going on in other countries, like a lot of information that we're not getting now. Because people expect the mainstream media to give us all of this shit. That's what they. If you don't see it on the news, shit ain't real. But the bottom line is, we can't discuss that. I would love to, trust me, I would love to get into this shit. And some of the latest shit that we have found out about what's the little thing
Yeah,
called?
I seen that too, Dre.
The little senator. You talking about the senator? Senator. What is they called? I call them.
It's called it is called Hydra vulgaris.
Yeah.
So Google that, Hydra vulgaris. And but yeah, go over to bitch platforms like BitChute, and just have a field day. Take your time and trust me. There's another platform called Brighteon. So there's a lot of platforms where, and this is what people had to do. They had to pull out of these platforms like Facebook and YouTube and all these other ones, and they had to go to places like that so they can really share the information. Because anytime one faction wants to control the narrative, something's wrong with that. So you only getting one side of the story. I'm just gonna say that. But let me see. Let me see. Yami Namio that asked that question. So definitely, somebody asked, I missed the beginning. What free lunch are we talking about? The free lunch that we are talking about is what's given out free right now, and it may not be the healthiest thing for your stomach. And we're paraphrasing here and using a lot of allegory, but we created the term free lunch for our lingo because the artificial intelligence, as it goes along and scans these platforms, it picks up some certain words that you use, and you can get banned and deleted and all this other stuff. So what we have to do as intelligent people is consistently recreate change the lexicon that we're using so it stays off our ass. So free lunch is the new word that we're gonna be using for free lunch.
And it'll be changed to something else, like in a couple of days to next time. It'd be something else.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep changing it because it gets smart enough to pick up on what you're saying, and then eventually it'll start flagging you for that type of shit. But
because all it's doing is looking for certain words, certain things. Like we already said enough things already. It's already looking for certain key things that links right to that.
Sure.
Yeah, and there's other words that we're gonna have to come up with to. There's a lot of phrases that are being used right now in this sphere when we're having these types of conversations that is kind of keying on. So we're gonna have to change up some other stuff too. But yeah, that was a good question from Yami Namiya. I don't know who that was, but yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Somebody who I forgot that was you. All right. Some people actually think it's medicine. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
They
hell
think the
yeah.
free lunch.
They don't
Some
know.
people think that is a medicine, a cure. They don't even know
Well,
what it really is.
I will
They
They
don't
tell
know.
take
them, I
They
will
don't
tell
know.
them for those who don't know, because that's another thing. When you're not educated on certain things, what happens is you take it for face value. Just go to some of the websites that created the free lunch, and you will see
Right.
that they actually use the term technology. So don't misscrew technology, the term technology, with, you know, what they saying that it is. And I'm not gonna use that term because they probably flag me for that shit. But it's technology. So go figure. What is the technology that they have created that is doing what it's doing?
What is it?
Um, you know, and I would encourage everybody, good health, good nutrition, and one of the most important things, I want people to really focus on going into the winter months, is vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that we kind of like drop off of in the colder months because we don't spend as much time as outside in the sunlight, but definitely get you some
You need to
D3.
get paid for that, man. Don't
Yeah.
show the brand name, man. You need to get
Yeah.
paid for that.
But yeah, definitely make sure you keep your supplementation up. Keep yourself healthy,
it's funny when you
going
try
into
to
these
help
winter
them.
months. But that's definitely something you wanna keep your levels up. So when you go to see the man and you get a physical, check your levels, man. Make sure your D levels is up, and along with all the other stuff that you should be doing to stay healthy. So
Yeah,
health is wealth. Health is wealth.
sure.
Yep,
Somebody says
because
makes let me see, somebody asked a question. Makes them take accountability and relearn everything. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you're
was
right.
something I think we was talking about.
Yeah. So we definitely we going it's a beautiful time. I always say that. And the reason why I say it's a beautiful time right now is because of what I've learned, what I know, and what has been passed down to me from some of my elders. It is a beautiful time, but it's going to be a rough, turbulent time. And it's the give and take, man. You can't have it all good, you can't have it all bad. Universe is about balance,
nope.
so we got to roll with that. And you got to pick which side of the pendulum that you want to chill on. You want to chill on the side of you know the good side or the bad side. And when I say good and bad, I'm talking about what's conducive and what's not. So good and bad is just terms I'm using. But when you
What
really think
works
it,
for you?
yeah, what's conducive for you. So don't that's part of the problem too. When people are creating this good and bad scenario, they want you to pick and choose this, that, or the third. But you got to figure out what's conducive for you to flourish in your own bubble and be good. And I'm not here to judge that. You know what I'm saying? If a person can hit me with I took the free lunch because of X, Y, and Z, and I'm cool with that, and I'm at peace, then I'm rocking with you. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's why I don't judge. I don't. That ain't my
yeah.
You
position.
know what's so crazy about it though? I always keep I put myself in that situation so many times since it's been happening. At first I was a little weak to it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, what if I have to? What if I have to do it to do this and that and that? And then my subconscious, well, conscious or whatever, talking like, listen, man, what do you want to do? Do you want to live or do you want to die? Do you want to take a chance with your life, period? What's more important? What is really more important? Is your life more important? Or is this thing that you've been doing for the past 20 years more important?
Huh. I
And
like that. I
so
like that. I like the way you put that, man. Say that again, man.
Sometimes when you get
I'm
them,
just
when you
saying though,
get
think about it though, like you basically rerun your life, like you basically doing the same routine for years. So does it hurt to be alive, to change anyway? You know what I mean? Does it hurt to take the next step, or are you just so comfortable in that cave and just lighting that candle and just dreaming? You know what I mean? Instead of getting out the cave sometimes and see the real light. You know what I mean?
well,
Like, what's wrong
well,
with
some,
seeing the real light? It's a world with no boundaries or anything. You know what I mean? So Why not take that chance? It's more important, and you will evolve if you do take that chance. You will evolve. Your brain will do what it needs to do, and if it doesn't do what it need to do, then have you really failed? You know what I mean? Have you really lost anything? Because all you're doing is just burying yourself at what you're doing. You just it's just a lot to it, man. But like I said, I had to say that, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, what if they do ask me that? But I already told them before. I already told them before that I'm not doing it. I'm like, I'm not gonna break what's not broken. That's what I told them when they said that to me.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
So I said I never took it, so why should I take it now? I'm not gonna take it now, so I don't care. So I made up my mind, and I have trust in my decisions. You might make me even. It might make me even more successful.
Confident. You got to be confident in your decision.
That's like getting tattoos. When they tell you when you get tattoos that you can't get jobs here and there, think about it. Most people who get tattoos that really have confidence, they usually run their own parlors or they doing their own thing and owning businesses, man. Because they ain't got no choice.
If I had tattoos, my black ass would be like, nah, we're gonna pass on you, brother.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but that's how you create. That's how you create your own path, though. When nobody wants you in there.
I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? You ain't got no choice, Ricks, right?
Yeah.
You ain't got no choice but to.
Ain't nobody fucking with you. Ain't nobody.
Yeah.
With you.
So when you do have too many choices, that could leave you stuck in the hole too. Because you got too many choices. Like, oh, I can lay back and do this, I can do this and that. But when you ain't got no choice to sleep, when you can't just sleep, you're going to find a way to sleep when you get a chance. You're going to find that way. You're going to find somewhere to sleep. You know what I mean? I can't sleep here. I can't sleep there. But you're going to find somewhere to sleep. Believe me, you're going to find somewhere to sleep. And that's how you got to look at how you evolve and how you elevate. In circumstances or under certain circumstances, you're gonna evolve and elevate. Well, I'm gonna find that food. I'm gonna find this and that. But when you got options, it makes you a little weak too, man. When you got options is a sign of it makes you weak and vulnerable with options.
Yeah, options all around you. You ain't got to move far. You ain't got to do much.
Right.
Well,
but after you
all of that's gonna be tested soon. So whether you have options or not, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, all that's gonna be tested soon, and without options, you adapt. Some just fall off. But you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You know, let's not have too much foresight into what may or may not happen, but we have a good percentage rate of what is most likely going to happen. And you know, I tell people all the time, I want to be 100% wrong about all the shit I be talking about. They be like, what? I'm like, yeah, I want to be wrong about all the shit that I'm talking about because I don't want that reality to manifest. It's not going to be a good one. But at the same time, I'm preparing for it. I'm preparing and having a contingency plan for the worst case scenario. And there's nothing wrong. If you smart, then you would follow suit and do the same shit. I want to say to Candace Sellers, and that's actually my fam who's in the chat. Nicole Walter, that's my fam who's in the chat. CK Williams, y'all, you know CK, don't you, Pot? She from Neptune. Casey.
I know he worked down. What if he? I don't know. It's one that worked for us that work at the company I work at. I don't know if it's him.
Nah, CK Williams. That's the that's a girl who used to hang out with your sister back in the day.
Oh,
I forget.
But I know one thing. I know one thing for sure. Wherever I go, when I go in the stores and everything, man, I notice all the stuff like the survival stuff. Like, yo, I'm starting to see stuff I never paid attention to, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at everything like as, you know, something that could probably help me. You know where my mind is at. But I'm like, I never noticed all this survival and this hunting stuff and all this kind of stuff. I never looked in those sections. I never paid attention to them. You know what I mean? It's like when you sleep, you don't pay attention to stuff like that. But when you start waking up, all that stuff become more, noticeable. You know what I mean?
But stuff like that is strategically placed in certain locations,
Gotta believe.
based on the demographics of where you live. That's why you can go to some WalMarts and they're gonna have some shit you was probably looking for, but it's probably something that most of your people don't fuck with. But if you go to that one over there, they got it
Right.
well stocked up with that shit. So a lot of
Yeah.
stuff is geographically placed based on the fact that there's a certain demographic that lives in that area and they pretty much shop for certain shit. Um, and that's just the way it is. But let me ask y'all a question. Like what do you say to the people who are religiously invested? Let's just say we'll just say religiously invested in their narrative as this whole scenario plays out. And then when the whole scenario plays out, your religious narrative has broken down because none of that shit panned out the way it was told to you. You're going to have people who are confused and lost because I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say aliens show up tomorrow, right? You now have to figure out, how does this play into my religious narrative, because they never mentioned no shit about this. Now you got to now you questioning everything because they didn't say anything about some cats showing up to Earth that look like bugs, and now we got to deal with that whole situation. Like, the narratives that we grew up with are being questioned and challenged at every angle now.
I mean,
How
that's
do
the
you?
time to put the book down. Like I said, and I don't want to discredit any book. I mean, right now there is lessons in the book, but when it comes to a certain point, you're gonna have to put the book down and pretty much move. You know what I mean? Because like, going off what you saying, if that shit, some shit go down like that, that's not incorporated in the book. So you pretty much gonna have to go for self after that. So you got to put the book down and figure out how to move forward.
And the reason why I asked that question is because I'm pretty sure you heard of the book "Behold the Pale Horse" by William Cooper.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going through my
I do.
copy the other night, and I pulled up the audio book, right? Because I know how the subconscious mind works. So I'll play an audio book late at night, like when I'm about to go to sleep, so I can retain a lot of information. And there's a chapter in there where he talks about how most of your religious events, all the way down to let's say a Messiah appearing on earth, that whole scenario will be staged by the powers that be. So in other words, the Illuminati has the power, or let's just say their hands in manifesting shit that has been written about in books to make it appear that it is an actual event when really it's staged. So I'm looking at, as things play out now, it almost seems they're going along with a script. If you really look at it, it looks scripted. Take, for instance, people say, and I heard different scenarios where people were like, well, I'm not going to take the free lunch because it's the mark of the beast and shit like that. I read about it. And I'm saying, according to that narrative, yeah, you might be right. You might be on to something with that, right? Especially if you get to a point where you're telling people, well, if you don't take free lunch, you can't buy shit. You ain't be able to sell shit because you can't do no business. You ain't be able to travel. You ain't be able to do nothing. Yeah, that sounds like it would fall right into that narrative. So my thing is, are we really living in a narrative of what the books have laid out, or are we living a narrative that is being laid out for us? It's just a question that I've been tinkering around with.
Nah,
Well,
To a degree.
I got some answers.
I don't want to discredit no book, but myself, I'm not moving in that manner. Myself.
Well, you got to think about it. Like, you know, books are like sort of like witchcraft spells. You know what I mean? Like that's what they were designed for. So you can create a person's reality with a book. You can put down some information in a book, and their brain would download it. And if you can suck them in to anything that you put in that book, that book would be more of their vision. Like they would be making their decision based on that book. So books, I'm not saying bad, good, whatever. I'm just saying in general, a book can create a person's reality. A person can live through.
I like that.
It's like a person lives through the words of an author that might not even be the author. You understand what I'm saying? Like it might not even have a real author.
That's all they saying. What you put in that book is all they saying.
Exactly. And if it goes against that book, then they don't want nothing to do with it because they already been fed. And the best way to feed somebody is you have to feed them relative stuff in order to kid them. You know what I mean? You got to sell relative stuff, and then you start throwing in all your hocus pocus. Like, first I'm going to feed you some good shit that makes sense to you, your experiences and everything. But then I'm going to throw some sugar and all kinds of salt and all that other stuff on top of it. And you're going to follow it because I got you to believe the things that you have experienced already. So you're going to follow me because I touched you here. So when I touch you here, I can guide you anywhere because you're going to trust me.
Once they touch there, boy. Once they put that spell on you, the gospel.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. Once they put that spell on you, they get you. You feeling that energy,
yeah, right? You do anything they want to you, man. Anything they want to you. So that's why.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So well, that's why I'm saying, like, even in the old stories, like, you know, what they said they gave him a book, or they gave I don't really know history, but what happened with that book? With the book, they gave him a book about religion, whatever, to follow religion, and that's how they lost everything because they became trapped and prisoners of the book, right?
I know what you're referencing. Most of the colonizers came with, they had a military, but they also came with religion and gave, like whoever they wanted to conquer, they gave them their format on spirituality and a god. So
their interpretation, how they wanted you to
basically unarmed them, and they defended. They believed the book was gonna save them. What was in the book is like they broke down all their defenses. Right here,
turn the other cheek. That's in there. That's somewhere or something like that in there. So now they use that upon you, the weekly. You know what I mean? The sheet. You turn the other cheek. Now you ain't striking out. You ain't lashing out. You turn the other cheek. You don't want to do nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
Spell, baby. That's what you call a spell, man.
So the reason, so one of the reasons why I asked that question is because when you look at the fact that I just think there's going to be some things that are not written down. I think there's some things that we're going to encounter that we're going to have to figure out just as intelligent beings of the creator. And we're going to have to feel our way through it from we can call it spiritual. We can call it energetic, whatever label you want to put on it. But I think there's a time frame where it's not scripted and it's not written down. We got to figure it out. And I think we're entering to a phase where the script is running down to its last couple of pages, or we might be in the last chapter of the script. And after that, we got to figure it out. And that's why I asked that question, because I think a lot of the books laid down the basics.
Right.
And we're in uncharted territory where we never been here before.
Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. We never been here before. And I think once the script runs its course and where it's going to run, I think we got to figure it out from there. And I think a lot of people are going to be lost because there's not going to be a manual. This shit wasn't in here. And they ain't say nothing about this. And they ain't say nothing about that. And how does this play in?
Well, it ends. Most of them ends right when the book ends. They end too. If they believe so deep into the book, they'll probably end with the book.
But that's a good statement, because when this is the crazy part, right? A lot of people who have a book, let's just say the Bible, for instance, and we're not bashing the Bible, but let's just do the knowledge to it. They have Bibles, and the Bible speaks clearly of events similar to now, like some people were saying, I'm not getting the free lunch because it's the mark of the beast, all this other stuff, whatever. But my thing is, you got the majority of them who have gotten the free lunch. Shit don't add up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how you
Because
got
they
the
don't want to
blueprint,
lose what they got.
but it goes to the point of the statement you just made. You said a lot when the book ends. Like I'm saying, we get into the last couple of
Right.
pages of the script.
Right.
You said a lot of those people, when the script ends, those people gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we're seeing now. That you would think that they got the script up until this point, they would make a
okay.
strategic maneuver
Yeah.
to stay out of harm's way. But
Right.
like you said, a lot of them gonna go with it. They're the one. A lot of them have taken the free lunch, so they
Right.
gotta go with
True. Okay. True. Damn.
So the big trick about all of this shit was those who you thought, or those who promoted themselves as being in the front of the line, motherfuckers wound up in the back.
Mm. Mm.
The people who were written off, the people who were crazy, the ones who were just rebellious and unorthodox and weird. It seems like those people are bubbling up to the front of the line on this shit here. As they call a lot of people conspiracy theorists, but seems like the conspiracy theorists are winning at the game right now.
And just to throw you off, though, they put a name on something, man, just to tell you can't think no other way. That's all.
But you know what? That term was created by the CIA, to pretty much anybody questioning anything with facts. With facts, they created that label. So when you hear that term that was programmed in everybody's subconscious mind, when you hear that term, you automatically discredit the person who's bringing the information or questioning it. You automatically put that label on them, and when you hear that label, oh, I ain't fucking with them. They one of them. They one of them people. You don't even give them a chance because of the label.
True.
It's just a word, a coined word that they use as a weapon. But the bottom line is, right about now, those individuals seem like they have been right about 90% of the shit that they've been talking about for a very long time. They at the front of the line right now. Ain't shit a motherfucking could tell me right now, as far as the shit that.
Nah, me either.
Nah. And I will say this just for the record, you know what I'm saying? Because people will say, well, there's things out there that the free lunch is supposed to put, I don't want to starve. Let's classify C19 as starvation. And I don't want to starve, so I'm gonna take the free lunch. Then you got a lot of people who had a bout with starvation. They almost starved, but they didn't. They made it through, and they still went and got free lunch. Being greedy instead of just having your fill and moving away and being I'm good. But no, you had some people who are on the verge of starvation. They made it through and still went and got free lunch, and they're gonna pay. They got to pay for that. Then you got people who they scared to starve. They scared to go through a fasting process. So fuck, I'm gonna get the free lunch so I can be straight.
Right.
So the thing is, they're gonna do that out of fear and a lack of knowledge. It is what it is.
Too though. What's so scared about that? A lot of people who claim that they starving, they never starved a day in their life.
It's well, we're using it as a metaphor. Lawrence.
No, I'm just saying. Period. I'm just saying that people just we can say that for another time. But go ahead.
Yeah, was gonna use.
No, I wasn't using it for you. I was just trying to explain that some people that mentioned about they starving. They're not even near starvation. They just really basically being detached to something that they're comfortable with. but it is what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. We'll let that.
But
Yeah, we'll
yeah, let's
talk
take
about
it.
that
My
on.
mind just jumped somewhere else, man. After you said that,
Ricks, what you laughing at, man?
I don't know.
because you know how I jump from one place to another place.
I ain't saying no. I'm just listening, man.
Nah, wait. Actually, what I'm laughing at is Pot. Let me ask you a question. You
What?
talking about starving for real, ain't you? Lack of food.
Hey man.
You talking about
That
lack of
mess with
food?
you,
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like I heard somebody saying they starving and they only ate. They didn't eat for one day and they starving.
You right. That's a whole nother conversation. You
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Yeah. They don't know. They don't know nothing about lack
real
thereof.
starvation.
But Ricks, you back there laughing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I was just like, every time when you jump into one
I
thing, you
got
say
it.
one
I
thing, my
got
mind kind of clings on to certain key words. You know what I mean? Like I cling on
Yeah.
to words fast. So when you
Because we
said
did talk.
starvation, the first thing I thought, huh?
Yeah, we did talk about that. About
Yeah.
people being really tested
Let's
by.
say that though. I can talk about that another time. We can talk about starvation, man, next time.
Yeah. We'll talk about starvation next time. But yeah, brothers, we are at a hour and 31 minutes. So
Damn.
we got it in. And I appreciate the time. Uh
That
it's
was
always therapeutic
dope.
to
Yeah, for sure.
get it in and talk. Next show, I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm gonna start sharing my screen because there's like I gotta start coming with some receipts, man, and I want to be able to show different documents and different images and the things that we can talk about. But I want to be able to put things up on the screen because I know how my people process things, and it's one thing for you got three brothers up here talking about this, that, and the third. But for people to actually see things, see some receipts, see some references, and have some links posted where they can actually go and do some homework for themselves, that's going to mean a whole lot for people who may be sincere seekers or might be on the fence. But I like to
Hold
at
on,
least
Dre. Let me pause you for a second.
go
Stop doing
ahead.
what you're doing, Lawrence. Stop doing what you're doing right now. All right, go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, so I want to make sure I'm be able to post receipts to make sure people can respect the build. You know what I'm saying? Take the build to another level, but also respect the build and not just us up here just three cats around the watering hole chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? To me, that means a lot to be able to build with people. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. But for the masses, they're not really processing it like that. So they got to see some things. So I'm gonna figure out the screen sharing thing because I can definitely do it. But I got to get my notes and things together so we can go ahead and post some things on the screen so people can see it. But on that note, I want to say thanks for Candace coming through and Nicole and CK and a couple other cats that came through in the chat and gave some feedback, which was all good. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and say our pieces and build with y'all on the next go round, as the old school head said. See y'all on the next go round.
See y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, let me go ahead and tag this right quick. And we gonna end it.